Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a chronological journey through a Chicago social dance night. We're going to look at exactly how to make the floor incredibly welcoming for absolutely everyone. Whether it's an open social or a more structured club gathering, the ultimate goal is always exactly the same: creating a safe, really comfortable space for every single dancer in the room. So let's break down exactly how you contribute to that environment.
Okay, when people hear the phrase ballroom etiquette, they almost always picture these rigid, unspoken, super stuffy rules from a bygone era, right? But honestly, that is entirely the wrong way to look at it. True etiquette on the social floor is absolutely not about being stiff or formal, not even a little bit.
Instead of all those rigid rules, true etiquette is actually incredibly practical. It really boils down to just three things: consent, courtesy, and clear communication. It's simply letting people know you're available, respecting physical space, and clearly communicating everything, from your dance holds to how you handle shifts in the music. At the end of the day, it all comes down to just being present and aware. All right, Chapter 1, Arrival and Connection. So, your etiquette literally starts the exact second you walk through the doors. And the absolutely crucial first step: just give yourself a beat to observe. Take a look around. Does the night use signups? Is it more of a free dance style? Are there DJs guiding the flow? You never want to just blindly rush in. Taking that brief moment to really read the room, that sets you up for an amazing night right off the bat. Now, when you're finally ready to find a partner, remember this highly effective, super simple four-step approach. First, make eye contact. Second, offer a friendly smile. Third, politely ask to dance. But here is the real secret. Step 4. If someone declines, accept it gracefully. The best dancers out there know how to read cues and take a no without making it weird. That right there is the absolute hallmark of great etiquette. Moving right along to Chapter 2, Navigating the Dance Floor. Okay, so you've got a partner, and you're stepping onto a crowded floor during a really popular song. Believe it or not, this operates a whole lot like driving in Chicago rush hour, though, hopefully with a lot less honking. You really need to follow the floor traffic rules. Maintain your lanes. Avoid any jerky, sudden changes in direction. And if you notice you're drifting toward a couple who has way less room to maneuver, adjust early. Those tiny early corrections are exactly what prevent those super awkward dance floor collisions. Navigating all that space is really a mutual conversation. For the leaders, it's crucial to avoid forcing hand placements or steering someone outside of their comfort zone. And for the followers, you want to give steady, very clear signals. Now, what if you're dancing with someone totally new? Well, choose a partnership style that actually matches the energy of the room. Stick to comfortable, basic patterns first, and only add complexity when you're both totally aligned and actually have the physical space to pull it off. And we can't forget about the music. Music cues absolutely matter here. When the DJ shifts the tempo, you have got to smoothly adapt your pace. Don't try to force a move that requires massive setup time if the music doesn't support it. If you need to slow down, do it gently. Slamming on the brakes and coming to an abrupt stop right in the middle of a crowded floor, that isn't just awkward, it's a genuine hazard for every single couple moving around you. Which brings us to Chapter 3, Transitions and Breaks. How you act when the music stops is honestly just as important as when it's playing. When that song ends, let your partner finish their last turn and then immediately create room. It is so incredibly tempting to just linger in the center of the floor to chat, but you really have to be proactive. If the DJ announces a rotation, clear out promptly so the next group can get started without having to weave through a ton of standing traffic. Taking a quick breather, we're just waiting for a DJ rotation. Make sure you move those conversations entirely to the edges. Standing mid-traffic creates these really sudden, dangerous blind spots for moving couples. By keeping all your breaks strictly to the perimeter, you ensure that active dancers have clear lines of sight, and that maintains a safe, beautifully flowing environment for everyone. Let's look at Chapter 4, Common Pitfalls to Avoid. So what's really interesting here is that even highly experienced dancers can fall into bad habits that completely kill the social vibe. Things like overleading or yanking someone through a turn. That just feels genuinely unsafe. Or holding on way too long after a song, which makes the handoff to the next partner super awkward. And talking through the entire dance, save those deep, fascinating conversations for the sidelines. That way both you and your partner can actually focus on the music. Now, when space is at an absolute premium, self-awareness is your absolute best friend. Dominating the dead center of a crowded floor is incredibly poor form. A truly courteous dancer will recognize when the floor is getting tight and actively move their routines outward toward the edges. This simply gives everyone else the space they need to pass by safely. We've all been there, right? Dancing with a partner who feels just a little hesitant. When you sense that hesitation, ignoring their comfort cues is a massive misstep. Do not push them into advanced figures they just aren't ready for, simply to show off. The absolute best etiquette in that situation is to tighten up your basics and really focus on mutual enjoyment. It's way more fun than trying to prove how many complex patterns you know.
Following these norms, it completely transforms the social dynamic. The whole Chicago ballroom scene truly thrives when dancers start viewing themselves as hosts. Think about it. If you're an experienced dancer, offer clarity, demonstrate solid basic positions, and just seamlessly adapt to your partner's level. When everyone decides to act like a gracious host, the energy of the entire room just elevates. It's magic.
Ultimately, etiquette is never about rules. It is 100% about empathy. When you ask respectfully, when you dance with real spatial awareness, and when you prioritize comfort, you might just be the reason someone falls in love with social dancing forever. So the next time you step out onto the wood and that music swells, ask yourself, are you just there to dance? Or are you actually ready to be the perfect host?